Hello, and welcome to another episode of Craftaway with me, Bully Bait. So in the last episode, we built that giant cobblestone structure behind us here. This one is a giant iron farm and infinite villager breeder, and it has been kicking out villagers basically ever since we left last episode. There's a bunch of babies down in there right now. As you can see, I have it shut off. I've been shutting it off and letting the villagers go in pulses, because it seems that if I let the villagers go into unloaded chunks and then I log out, it deletes those villagers. But if I collect the villagers up and then release them and then let them come over here, then I can build this up very quickly into way too many villagers. Now, the bottleneck that I'm running into at this point is that it doesn't storm enough. So I can't kill all the villagers very easily. As if you saw my last episode, we had some trouble killing the villagers, and the witches were killing each other. And it was creating a huge amount of problems. Like, for instance, not getting enough gunpowder. Let's go ahead, and I think I have one rocket left. We'll use this to get to get down into the villager catching area, the witch chamber, which is down here. Let's grab some paper so that we can make more rockets once we get down there. So when it storms again, what we'll do is we'll go and kill those villagers, but and we'll do that together because it's fun. But it doesn't seem to work very well. So to get our gunpowder levels up higher, faster, what we're gonna do is create mob farms today. So we're gonna get started on that, and I've run it a little bit to see how things would come up, and we got a bunch of healing potions. If they're attacking me when they fall down here, they drop healing potions. Let's just take out that one stack of gunpowder, and we'll make a set of rockets. And that should help us get around for a little while. 3 stacks of rockets isn't really a whole lot, but it's enough to get us going. Once we get the mob farm up and running, we should be doing a lot better for gunpowder. But for now, those villagers are going to help us. So as soon as it storms again, we'll go do that. I want to get started on the mob farms. I got attacked by a slime. Now I'm stuck in here. I'm going to get killed by a slime. I don't think so. Can also build a slime farm. I don't think I'm going to build a slime XP farm, though. Doesn't make much sense. Let's go ahead and sleep, and then we'll fly up and check out where we're going to build our first mob farm and what I've gotten done. So we still have this here from Sunfire's prank, but I would like to start with the mob farm, maybe this one here, just because I would like to get this area started. These are going to be, the blue is iron farms and the orange is mob farms. So there's going to be another mob farm over there that's pretty big. But this one's small, and that's why I think it'll be easier. It'll be easier to build for us anyway. What I would like to do is go ahead and get started on this, the first few platforms, to get things started, and then we can come back and talk about it a little bit once we get going. Oh, something else real quick. I've gone through and filled in all of the water under this set of chunks here, and all that's left for water is these chunks here, and this is because this is a river, it's fairly deep. So I'm kind of putting that off until I find some sponges. This area I just filled in with stone, and we'll have to mine it all back out again. But that's alright. We got a lot of digging to do, and I just want to get started on these mob farms and get things going, and that way we can really get into building this base, because without these big structures here, we can't build the decorations that go around them. Hey guys, I'm back. It's been a few hours for me, probably not very long for you, considering I believe it's just a cut in between here and there. But this is our mob farm. It is pretty decent at this point. I mean, hasn't started functioning yet. This is our first night with it functioning. Of course, with me this close, mobs aren't going to spawn. We'll have to go back over to our AFK area over there. But as you can see, it is running. It has got a grass floor here. And that is so that I can try, I'm hoping that passive mobs will spawn in here as well once we get rid of some of the other grass blocks. And then we'll be able to use this for a food farm as well. So what I need to do now is start on this perimeter here. I think I want to just I want to dig this down a few blocks. This area here, dig it down a few blocks, slab it out, and just so that the at least our loaded area is spawn free. That would be nice. But while I've been over here, things have been working pretty crazily. My iron farm over here has been producing quite a bit. So we got another, 18, 19, 20, 21 stacks there. And then 9, or I guess it's only 8. So 8, 16, almost 20 stacks in this one. And then in this one we have another 8, almost 12. So that's pretty good. We got like another single chest full of iron from our iron farm. And the villager breeder is working out really good. I just let out a whole new slew of villagers. So there's a whole group of them over here. Hopefully it'll thunderstorm soon so that we can turn them into witches, because there are still quite a bit of them over here. And you might be able to see that they're breeding sometimes. I'm sure if I started throwing bread and stuff in there, that they would start breeding up like crazy. I'm not really sure why that is. They should be too far from this village. But the next thing we are going to do for this episode is maybe build a second one of these mob farms. I'm thinking this big one right here. But I'll see you guys in a bit. We're going to work on a few more things. See how much gunpowder and stuff we can work on here. I might log in my camera account so it'll stay AFK in this area. But I don't know. I think we need to go ahead and start on the perimeter, but maybe building one of the mob farms is a good idea. I don't know. I'll make a decision and then I'll come back to you guys, I guess. Hey guys, we got a thunderstorm going on here. So before this thing disappears, I want to get over here and make some witches and see what kind of gunpowder we can get. So how we do this now is we kind of stay back a little bit so that the witches can't see us. We try to get as many of these as we can. Sort of hitting in the corners, because that will turn as many of the witches over as we possibly can get. And then we push this button. And I'm going to try to kill this witch. we can get them. They can all go down. Whoa, that lightning almost struck us. Okay, so let's get out of here. Let's head back over and go down and see how much gunpowder we got. There's a bunch of XP down here as well. Interesting. All right, let's kill this witch. It wasn't a ton. It wasn't a ton of XP, but a little bit. We got like 15 or 16 gunpowder in that one. So apparently gunpowder isn't the thing we're gonna get a ton of. I'm hoping to get a lot more glowstone. That would be cool. I feel like if we get rid of some of these other things, like if we sort out the storage things, it'll come out a lot better. We'll do that in a little bit. I did forget to talk about the redstone. We could talk about that real quick. It's not anything major. It's a hopper clock right here that runs into a pulse. This is like a monostable circuit, only this actually creates a 7-tick pulse instead of it's a 7-tick pulse instead of a 1-tick pulse, and that comes into this pulse lengthener that lengthens it out to quite a bit, and that's what makes this go. I wonder if this has been working. It could work a little bit with our AFK guy staying right there. Hi, Bully Cam. How are you? Are you good at being AFK? Hey guys, we're back, and it's been quite a while actually. It's been about a day and a half or so, and we've done a whole bunch of stuff, including a whole bunch of AFK. So let's go and we're gonna first start with the mob farm that we worked on at the very beginning of this episode, right? So we got this done very early, right? And it's been working fairly well. It's pretty slow. As you can see, we've started on a perimeter, and I'm using a ton of glowstone and a bunch of slabs to accomplish a surface spawn that is blank. So this should clear up all of the surface spawns, and there won't be any places for spawns other than our farm. I guess it looks like we're gonna have to do some anti-mob spawning for the farm, the redstone of the farms, but that's okay. We knew we were gonna have to do that. Most of the redstone's gonna have to change anyway. We also have to go through and perimeter the outside of this as well, but we'll explain that later. I wanted to just go ahead and check on some of our, I guess, profits from our farms. Let's see, we got one here. Right? So I've actually had to take a chest out because we are filling up on our iron so fast. It is so full. It's great. We have tons of iron now, so we can really get started on our storage system. I wanted to buy some iron from Sunfire so I could start on our storage system while the iron farms, got working, so that we wouldn't be running out of iron all the time. So I wouldn't have to AFK for like a couple of hours, get 10 stacks of iron, make 2 stacks of hoppers, and then be done. We would have to AFK again until we can make like another section of the wall. The iron farm has been kicking right along, and I believe this is full of grown-up villagers again. But because we've dug this out and built in the perimeter, I've got to climb up here. We're gonna have to move this, change it up a bit, or set it to a timer. Just let these villagers pass through. And then we'll head out to the witch farm area. And we'll check that place out next. Come on, come on, come on. All of you villagers have got to pour through. Alright, that's everybody. We can close this back up again. There we go. Out to the witch farm. And as you can see, it's full of villagers again. We'll have a bunch more coming out of here in just a minute. We'll wait for them. Maybe they haven't left that chunk over there yet. That happens. Sometimes you got to, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get out of here. At least not that way. Let's see. We find a spot along the wall. It's easier said than done. Hey, here they come. Boom, boom. There, now we got out. So here come all the villagers. They're gonna show up in here and then we'll unload them. I wish it rained more often. It was just thunderstorming like not even 5 minutes ago. And I was like, okay, we're gonna come in so that we can make a bunch more witches. But by the time I got recording, it stopped raining. So that sucks. Alright, let's go head out and we'll just check out this this giant mob farm that we have over here. So first off, it should be said that this redstone is super temporary. It's just done enough to get it done. So that it works. Oh, we still can't see. Alright. I was hoping that maybe I would be able to see from over here. Apparently not. So this is a 4-chunk mob farm. Let's see. It's a 4-chunk mob farm, and it runs using the same mechanics as that one over there. So there are waterlogged stairs here. Oop. Right there. Those are waterlogged stairs that, and the pistons pull the blocks out from underneath them, and the water drops straight down and then flows this way, heading all the way down and pushing them, any mobs that are up here, down into there, where they die. They fall, they go to the end, and then they drop down and they die. Just like over there. That's exactly how this one works. So the redstone is like super simple. It's just like some redstone dust right here on the pistons to power them all. A redstone torch keeps them powered all the time. Another inverts that signal. This here is a giant pulse extender that keeps the water flowing long enough so that if a mob is up in this corner or whatever, oops, if a mob is up here in this corner, then it can, it'll spend enough time in the water to actually drop off the edge. Which is pretty cool. And then, so yes, as you can see, the pulse extender is a little funky. I think it needs a little longer of a pulse from, this is also a pulse. It's not really a pulse extender. It could be like a, it's like a monostable circuit, but it creates a pulse that's longer than 1 tick. It creates a pulse that's, well, this one is 16 ticks. But, and then here's a hopper clock. And that just runs it. So we have the whole thing running on hopper clocks. The reason I used pistons instead of dispensers is because pistons cannot become messed up by loading and unloading chunks. So let's say I am standing too far away from this and only half of this is loaded. These pistons will fire but these ones won't. And the water will just stay frozen. And that's fine, and that will happen with dispensers as well. If you were to use dispensers, the difference with dispensers is when you reloaded this area, these dispensers would be flowing and those dispensers would be off. And then they would swap back and forth with your redstone signal. But using pistons, as soon as the redstone for these pistons is loaded, they fire 100%. And I think there's a missing water source block. Well, it seems to actually... No, it works just fine. That works just fine. It's good enough. Yeah, I think that's everything. We did that. There's the iron farm working. Yeah, so this is it. Oh, we gotta check the drops. Drops, right? We need to know what the prizes are for doing all of these cool things. I'm thinking next episode we're gonna have to work on some other, like a different farm. Either another iron farm or something else. So I've connected the drops for that mob farm into a tunnel down here that's on the same height as our witch farm drops. So down here is where our mob farm drops are right now. I found some diamonds here. That was cool. What we got here? So this one is not working that great. It is a little slow. Because it's over top of that river biome, we get fish on occasion. But because the perimeter on this side is very lacking, it's not producing very much at all. It's the biggest one, and it should be producing the most, but it's actually producing, like, very little. And that is okay because we know what the reason is. The reason is because the perimeter is not done. Once we get the perimeter up and fully completed, all the farms will be running at, like, max. So I think I've done a few... Yeah, I've even come in and taken the gunpowder that was in here. But we got a little bit more. That's pretty good. And there's a lot more drops in here. We're going to have to work on the storage area for these fairly soon. There's a bunch of stuff we got to do for this project. It's huge. This is our base after all. It's a really big project. But what is cool is because I made them out of grass, our mob farms actually work as food farms as well. They're passive mob farms during the day. And because of that, it allows us to, like, just gain food without having to, you know, like, have a cow farm, which is going to keep our energy level low, which is good for this. Now this one, on the other hand, where the perimeter is working much better, it's working way better. 21 gunpowder, that's quite a bit. We even got a gold nugget, must have killed a zombie pigman. I'm not sure where zombie pigmen are coming from, but I see them on occasion. I'm wondering if it's lightning striking pigs in this area. Like, we get a lot of lightning strikes in the area, and because pigs spawn in here, we get zombie pigmen, and that happens on occasion. And then one of those just happens to be within our farm. I do know that we get drowned in there. They spawn when the water is on. That's actually pretty good because that means we can get drowned. We can get nautilus shells and gold. It works really good. We need to build another mob farm on this side. This is a hole for our witch farm, which we're gonna need to take a look at. There's some things I'd like to modify this. I'm wondering if this is having a problem with the perimeter. I know another problem is a density mob cap. We're gonna talk about mob problems once we get into the real perimeter building of this area. We get drowns inside of our iron farm, which is okay because The iron golems just killed him. I apparently can't shoot an arrow through that gap. There we go. That's the thing, you gotta check these hoppers for rotten flesh. That happens on occasion. But it's so good. It's so good. The farm is running very well. There's still a lot of things we better light up. We better light up all these pathways here, the chunk borders that we have marked out. In fact, the chunk borders will be able to come down as soon as we get the other iron farm and the other mob farm up. Then we can take the chunk borders down because they don't matter anymore. The one we'll leave is the one in the middle. Everything else has really been laid out already. Those are the ones that need to be chunk aligned, is the iron farms and the mob farms, because they have to be certain distances from each other, and we want to keep them within chunks so that like the villagers can't fall out of that farm, because the wall will always be loaded. Sometimes the villagers can be loaded and the wall is not, and that will, if it's a chunk border, they'll just fall through the chunk. See, some of the problem is like these guys spawning out here. You gonna try and kill me? Not very well. But a lot of what it is just the fact that the perimeter is not complete. We gotta get it done. So I'm gonna work some more on this, but I think, I'm not sure if this is gonna be it for this episode or not, but I think, because I'm not sure how long we've got done. I think we've only got like 3 clips. When we started that mob farm, and then I finished it, and then I did a stream, and I did that and this, and now it's the end of the episode already. I think that might be a little early. I want to get the perimeter done. I don't have enough glowstone. I'm gonna need to do some glowstone mining. Maybe we could do that together for the end of this episode. I don't know. I'll see you guys in a bit. Gonna get some work done. So I thought at this point I would actually end this episode, but a lot of things have happened. It's been a little while, a few days now, actually. We gotta go and check some stuff out. First off, I want to go down and just show you the witch farm that's down here. I believe we've used it a little bit. The problem is, like I said, it's just not producing thunderstorms actually enough. The game doesn't make thunderstorms enough, so we can only use this if we notice it's thunderstorming, and then we make it here in time. But these are the drops that we've collected so far from this farm, and it's really not bad when you think about it. Like, this is pretty decent, even though there's not a whole lot of gunpowder in there. That's because we've been taking it. There's been maybe 3 stacks of gunpowder that came out of that. I've been keeping these chests from this mob farm pretty empty. I've been moving them over to the other mob farm. Both of these have been working pretty decently. I added lava in there. Let's see if I can hop up there so you can see it. Yeah, so there's lava right here at the bottom of the drop. And that's just so that light doesn't show up on the farm. Like, I was gonna put it at the top, but I didn't want them to the light from that to mess with the farm. But anyway, so they fall down here, and that way it cooks at least some of the food. Some of the food gets cooked. The other farm and this one have pretty much stopped spawning aggressive mobs. So both that farm over there on the far end and this farm over here have stopped spawning aggressive mobs. As you notice there's only a couple of rotten flesh and nothing else. What was I doing? I wanted to grab rockets. So let's head over to this farm and we'll check it out. And then there's one more place we're gonna have to go look because things have happened and we really have got something we gotta go do. So let's just get to the top of this. Oh, you can already see it. Look at that, it's working. I love that thing. We'll talk about it in just a minute. It looks a little different than it probably did earlier in the episode. We actually stopped and glanced at it, I believe. I was just looking at the edit. And this witch farm is functioning. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. So as you can see, we did get the full perimeter for the first 4 chunks done. So the first 4 chunks, the surface perimeter is complete. Now let's go ahead and check out what's going on over here. As soon as we got the perimeter in, a lot of things changed. So as soon as the perimeter went in, the mob farms stopped producing aggressive mobs and pretty much only produce food. Oh, we forgot to look at that, but that's okay. The iron farm is pretty much maxed out, and I had to add a bunch more storage because it's just too much now. We have drowns that just appear in the farm. I don't know how to stop that. I can't get it to stop, but that's fine. Yeah, so the iron farm is just cooking right along. The witch farm way out there is full of villagers, and we're waiting on a thunderstorm. Got to kill all the mobs that are in this area, because if you don't kill them, then they just take up the mob cap and then nothing spawns. We really got to get this perimeter completed 100%. So let's go down here and we'll look at this, and then we'll have to climb back up the ladder again, or I'll just fly out this time. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna fall in here. Now I've added a bunch of chests down here because it does drop quite a bit. Quite a bit of stuff gets dropped in here. Doesn't look like it right this second, but we have, these are all the aggressive mob drops. But as you can see, we do have like 39 Nautilus shells and even a trident somehow, and 46 gunpowder. That's all the gunpowder that we've got over the last, I want to say like a week, maybe, from this farm and the other farm. That's a bunch of wool from all the sheep. That's all the mutton. Some pork chops, steak, leather, lots of good things we got. I'm pretty much set on food for probably the rest of the season. I don't think I'm gonna need any more. The rest of the season completely filled up on food. We actually have quite a bit of wool as well, which is really nice. Now let's go head over to the witch farm. We need to go to the witch farm because this thing, I don't know why it just started all of it. So what happened was I had AFK'd a couple of days straight for these farms here, and I wasn't even paying attention to this one because my witch farm had stopped working forever ago. But I knew it was because there wasn't any the perimeter wasn't complete. Like, that was the reason why I knew it wasn't working. Then I noticed it had started working, and then I also noticed that it was getting caught. Witches were spawning in there, but they were getting caught and they wouldn't die right away. And because they wouldn't die right away, then it wouldn't spawn any more witches. So we had to make some modifications. I changed how the pistons work. I know I haven't shown you guys too much about how this works yet, but I do have a video either coming out. I might have a video coming out about it, or I will talk to you guys about it in another episode. But I originally only had one chest here, and this is all of the gunpowder that this farm has produced. Just this farm. That's an outrageous amount of gunpowder for this server. We have had so many problems. Nobody has this much gunpowder. I have way more than anyone on the server. And I had to add all of these chests because it was just... I put two more chests on there, and then I filled them up in one day of AFK. And I was like, okay, we need more. And now this is all pretty much full. This is the only spot that's empty. So as you can see, we got some glowstone powder, some more gunpowder. We'll go through and check out the chest real quick. We got some sugar and glass bottles, and spider eyes, and sticks, tons of sticks, sugar. Man, it's just so much stuff. We got so much stuff. We're gonna have to figure out what to do with all of this. But it's got me thinking that the very first thing we really need to get into is getting our storage system, because if we build these farms and we don't have any place to store it, it's just gonna despawn. Like one of the times I came down here to check out this, and the chests were full and there was a bunch of items on top of the hoppers. We definitely don't want that to happen. Lose too much stuff, and the stuff that we get from this farm is super useful. Pretty much every item you get from a witch farm has like a major use within Minecraft. You guys are killing my farm. But I think that's going to be it for today. Next episode, we're definitely going to get started on getting the storage together. Not just for the witch farm, but for our actual storage system right here in the middle of our base. But I will see you guys in the next episode. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you guys next time. Bye.